Hey everybody, Matt Johnson here. Another demand note in the Nancy Guthrie case.
He knows who Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers are and can lead the FBI to those kidnappers for 1 Bitcoin.
So does this mean we're any closer to catching those responsible?
I think they're getting close to the porch guy. And when they get the porch guy, the floodgates shall swing open.
What's your level of confidence on that?
75%.
Of course, your first indication would be that who are they getting closer to? The one person that we have identified on a videotape.
A homicide detective answers your questions, but first, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hype this episode. Now, the case of missing Nancy Guthrie. So with the new note, the big question is, are we any closer to getting answers for Savannah and her family? Here to help break it all down, we have a very special guest, Phil Waters, retired homicide detective, a legend in the business. Does the note mean that we're any closer?
I tell you, my first, number one, the information that's coming out now, the source is Harvey Levin. I've had some problems with him from the very beginning of this thing. My sense is now this is just, again, him trying to insert himself into this investigation. And admittedly, he's talking about wanting to put $4 million into this Bitcoin account so he can do a documentary of some kind. So I just look at this as being Harvey trying to get, this is just clickbait for him.
Well, let's play part of it, and I'll get your reaction on the other side.
Today is Friday, June 26th, and we have received another email from the man who says he knows who Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers are and can lead the FBI to those kidnappers for 1 Bitcoin. So the man writes that he has clearly been following things we've been saying, questioning the FBI telling us that the person who wrote this might be a female. The person does not say he's a male for sure, but he puts a big question mark there. And then also puts a question mark where we say we might be doing a documentary. So he says in this email that he is not, as he puts it, I am not the idiot who recently called in a tip about her burial site in Mexico. He goes on to say, only 2 are directly involved, and I doubt they would be the ones calling to snitch on themselves. So he has said to us before that there were multiple kidnappers and there was a main kidnapper, but definitely plural kidnappers. He has said that before.
Let me pause it right there because we're now in a space where we're now sharing details of these notes that we're receiving, whether or not they're real, because that wasn't done in the first couple months after Nancy went missing.
Well, what he's reading, a lot of this stuff it's not really new information. As I've said from the beginning that there had to be 2 people. And most of the people, my colleagues, have been on that same page. I mean, obviously somebody had to bring her out of the house, and then a car had to pull up, put her in a car. So obviously you got 2 people involved. So that's really not new to me. That's really just not new information. And my take on this is if they've got this information and he's talking about the individuals and at some point knowing who they are, that kind of a thing, then look, there's over $1 million in reward money that's out there right now. And if information is provided that leads to an arrest and a conviction, it would be paid anonymously. It's through a Crime Stoppers type entity. So I just don't, my take is on this is that Levin, he's getting these emails and he gets on there and he's like a carnival barker. come step right up and see the bearded lady. And so I just don't put a lot of credibility in these particular emails at this point.
Well, let's hear a little bit more of what he's reporting from this latest note, and we'll talk about it.
In this email, which, by the way, we have sent to the FBI, he says that he has video. He has video of Nancy Guthrie with the main kidnapper on what probably would be the last day of her life. That's the way he puts it here. He says, while what it contains is my definition of delivering it on a silver platter, a short video of the main guy with Nancy the day that was probably her last. He also says that he has names, addresses, phone numbers of the kidnappers. Now, he says he has that video in a phone, and the phone is turned off. It is in a secure, secret location, but a location easy to find if you know where to look. And that's what he says. He doesn't say a safe deposit box, but he says easy to find if you know where to look. And he says that if he gets a Bitcoin, he will deliver, as he puts it, on a silver platter, exactly how to get access to this phone, including the password. So he did not, this is clearly the guy who has been sending us.
Do you think that this perpetrator is still in the country? Like maybe he actually doesn't have access to that phone anymore. Maybe he fled the country. And maybe he's waiting for a Bitcoin to then share the location of where the phone is hidden, if this is true.
Well, I'm not sure that the people who did this are one and the same with these people that are sending these emails. I'm not convinced of that. They talk about this video and they've got this and they've got that. Let's see it. Talking about it's one thing. Let's have a little proof here. I mean, I follow evidence, so let's see some evidence that you've got what you say you have.
And I think what's interesting about it too, Phil, is the timing of it all, right? Because we've now received information this past week, which is why it's been in the news as to the contents of the other notes. They've been disclosed by the media outlets that received them, which we'll talk about. But then also you had another plea by Savannah.
This is a moment to tell you that we need your help. We're begging for your help. And I'm not going to miss that opportunity. And so please, if you're watching, yes, no matter how small, the reward is there. You can tell us. It can be anonymous. Please do the right thing for us, for our family, for our children.
She's making that plea, and this is just a couple days ago. And then lo and behold, a few days later on Friday, more information, another note drops.
Well, you're right, Matt. I just question the timing of things. And this is the heartbreak of this whole thing. Whoever these people are, and until I'm shown differently, I think we have a separate set of actors here. And whoever these people are that are playing on Savannah Guthrie's emotions and the family, I think are despicable. Despicable people. The detectives and the agents involved in this investigation, they must look into this. So from that side of it, this is good. We have another piece of evidence, another lead, and we've got to run this thing down. And I see where there's always this discussion about, is it real? Is it not? Is it credible? So forth and so on. And I read, I think in one of the articles that supposedly from sources, I always question sources that are never named, inside the investigation, that there is a divide. There's the camp that believes this stuff is all bull crap. And then there's a camp that believes it may be credible.
When Savannah did her initial interview with Hoda Kotb, she said this. She did believe that the ones from early on were real.
The ransom notes or ransom requests came. Did you believe those to be real?
There are a lot of different notes, I think, that came. And I think most of them, it's my understanding, are not real, and I didn't see them. But, you know, a person that would send a fake ransom note really has to look deeply at themselves.
Yeah.
So she believes that some of the notes are real. And this has made headlines again earlier this week because some of the outlets are now disclosing what's in the notes. I want to play part of that and then we'll talk about it.
As you are probably seeing some reports surfacing this afternoon about the second Nancy Guthrie ransom note. Some media confirming that it said Nancy died and that she was buried in nature. I'm Brianna Whitney, Crime Junkie's breaking news reporter, and I have spent months and months covering the Nancy Guthrie case, boots on the ground. And in my former role, before I came to Crime Junkie, I was made aware of what these ransom notes said as I was reporting on the case. I've seen them with my own eyes, so I want to actually provide more context as to what that second note said. The way that this note was written, it's written as we, like we didn't know this, as if it was some sort of team or whoever was involved in this. It said, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. It went on to say that they never intended to hurt her during all of this. They continued and said she perished shortly after she was taken. They believe that it was heart related. And then what the reports were confirming earlier today, that she was buried with nature. And maybe the most important part of the second ransom note, it said, nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We are truly sorry.
The fact that they're saying, you know, we buried her with nature and all that. Well, of course. That just is the normal course of events based on what we know happened. The woman, she was taken, she died, and they disposed of the body. So I don't see any new revelations here at all. The big revelation would be, as I've said, produce her. Give them directions, give them longitude and latitude on where Ms. Guthrie's body is located. And let these family members, let's get down there and recover it, and at least put some peace back into their lives. But so I'm just not signing on to the camp that these things are credible. And, you know, going back to what Savannah said about the first two, I think she said she believed. And the key word there is believe.
Do you think that the timing could indicate that the officers, that the feds, that the investigators are closer to making an arrest? That there's maybe a desperation to get some sort of money?
Well, I don't know. I would describe what these people are doing as desperation. I think they just, this has been, you know, what is it, 140 some odd days since this occurred. And there's really not been a lot in the last few weeks, I would say. Most of it has been concentrating on being critical of the sheriff, which is a complete distraction from the investigation, which has nothing to do with it. People get glommed on to wanting to be critical of him, and that just, so now we've got somebody who's sent an email, and look what has happened. We're all talking about it again. So I don't think they're worried about that, although I believe that they're getting closer to making an arrest. And
that's what former FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell reported on Megyn Kelly's show. Let me play that and we can talk about it.
Did you hear what Maureen said on this show on Wednesday?
I heard a
Maureen?
few things. I know she put a 75 percentile mark out
I'll
there.
play it just for the audience that didn't hear her. But we love Maureen, and she's former FBI too. And she said the following 2 days ago.
The person we're talking to could say, wow, they're probably closer than we think they are.
Could you just expand on why you think they're like they're getting there, that they're close to making an arrest?
I think they're getting close to the porch guy. And when they get the porch guy, the floodgates shall swing open.
What's your level of confidence on that?
75%.
That's big news.
I know.
The main headline there is she thinks that they're close to porch guy. I mean, what would be the indicator for her to think that? Is there a leak in the FBI?
No. I don't, Matt. I took when she said that. That's just a good guess. I mean, if she's right, then it's like she's got a 50-50 chance of being right or wrong. So making a comment like that, she's playing the odds. And of course, if we know what we know about the investigation, and there's a lot we don't know, of course, your first indication would be that who are they getting closer to? The one person that we have identified on a videotape. So that's a pretty safe prediction view. And I, Maureen, bless her heart, I would just be curious as to know how many homicides and how many kidnappings she actually worked in her short time at the Bureau. So I'm just, I mean, she says what she says, and I wouldn't disagree with her in terms of the porch guy, because that's the guy, he's the known unknown. I'll put it that way. And so the percentile thing, I guess that's something she does. I'm not going to do it, but I think they are closer to. I think every day brings them closer to an arrest.
Yeah, and you said before on this program that you believed it's more than one person, and you kind of made headlines when you were the one that was really saying that it's the car that you believe, the getaway car, the hot car, that is going to lead them to an arrest. You still feel that, or are you waiting for DNA, or what are you waiting for?
Well, look, they're still doing a lot of DNA stuff. That DNA stuff happened. It takes sometimes, especially with the technology we have now, it takes months. I know the technology that we had when I was working homicide, it would take sometimes 8 months to a year to get back results. And unless we had a case that was just, we had to strike while the iron's hot, that DNA can be examined and it can be obtained in a relatively short time. But those are anomalies. That doesn't happen all the time. So they're still waiting on some DNA stuff. I think and these digital, now the FBI, and now people got to remember that Pima County is still the lead agency. However, the FBI, their biggest resource with them is their digital forensics people. Now, in terms of that part of the investigation, they are the lead on that. And I have worked with those folks. And I will tell you, it is a tedious, time-consuming job to try to go through digital evidence and pinpoint vehicles, pinpoint, with these GPS systems that are in these vehicles and that kind of thing. So the hottest leads I think are going to come from that area. There's going to be some sort of a digital footprint somewhere, either with the car or a phone or something that is going to lead them to the car, possibly the person who owns the car. The car used may not be owned by the people that used it. Get that car identified, get an owner identified, and then let's see where that leads from there. So every opportunity opens a door, and but the digital stuff takes time. All of this, I've said it repeatedly. It doesn't happen in 43 minutes with no commercials. I mean, this is just and at this point in this type of an investigation, it becomes very, very tedious. But those folks at the FBI, that digital forensics unit, they do some incredible work. So I'm still remaining hopeful Not going to give you a percentage, but I'm remaining hopeful that this will come to a conclusion. And I hope, of course, sooner rather than later.
I hope so too. Our thoughts and prayers are with Savannah and the family there for answers. Phil Waters, retired homicide detective, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you have a good weekend.
All right. Same to you, Matt. Appreciate you asking.
Again, if you have any information in the case, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. There's still that cash reward of over $1 million for information. You can remain anonymous. Let's keep Nancy's family in our thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, they get those answers soon. That's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe because I'll keep you updated on this case and others. In the meantime, take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.